All right, well, today I'm going to give you a little tour of all my bikes. Go through all the ones in the garage. You're not going to be able to see them very well, so I'll put some other, supplemental photos and videos in as well, so you get a better look at them. And I'll tell you a little bit, about each one, what I'm doing to it, or some of the things I may have done to them. This is my 1981 Maico 490. Got it a few years back. Haven't finished working on it. Has a new piston and everything, but has an air leak. At first I thought maybe there was something wrong with the ignition, so I tried several different ignitions, but that wasn't the problem. I put new plastics on it. These are rear Öhlins shocks from Rage Racing, but $1,500 for those. Yeah, I put all the race plastics on, or the regular plastics on, even though it's a GS. But you can see by the back there, it's GS. So yeah, it just needs figure out what that air leak is. It's either the crank seal, or I'm thinking it might be that connection with the carb there. So, but I haven't gotten back to it to do anything. Yeah, so I just reshot this a little bit because I know it was all dark. You can't really see anything. So, but there it is. Yeah, you can see that these are the Rage Racing shocks. And that's where the leak might be, either in that, at the cylinder maybe, or one of this side. I don't think it's the other side, but it might be this side. But I haven't even worked on this in years. You can see from the picture that I put up that the tank's bigger. The other one was not the big enduro tank. This one is the big enduro tank. It's not as good looking. One of the air tanks I had was leaking, so you can see I even got a big enduro tank on the the 82. But yeah, so this is a little bit better what you can see. So yeah, I don't really like the problem. I don't like is the tank, because all the plastics are new except for the tank. I even got new throttle and everything, all the grips. But yeah, the issue with this bike is it does have an air leak somewhere. So need to get that resolved, This bike here is a 1982 Maico 490, rebuilt several years ago. It's got, I believe I put the Fox air shocks on it. Well, I rebuilt in 2008 actually. Probably needs a new top end now. But it's got a crazy setup for the carb on it. You can't see it from here though. But the kicker has stripped. But I do have a new kicker, quarter gear and everything to put on it. Brand new, so just haven't put on it. This is my 1985 air cooled. I got from Fritz. Still has his name on it. They put skid plate and stuff on it. I did replace that once. Seal right there, because it looked like it might have been leaking a little bit from the clutch actuator, and I put the seat on it. Other than that, I've been doing little things to it, but I haven't gotten around to finishing it to go riding with it. So we have the Maico 500, which is 86. Has a CR125 front end on it. I rebuilt this back in 2010. I got it from I think Don at DC Plastics. You see it still says DC on the side. It was his bike from the 80s, I guess. But one of the things I did to it is I changed the cooling system to the modern cooling. The previous cooling used to just have the head split to go to either right or left radiator, and then they would both merge at the bottom. The modern cooling system has, from the head goes to this radiator, goes up, goes down to the other radiator, and it goes down and back in the engine. So the water cooling goes through both radiators before it cycles back in. Whereas the original one, they go through one or the other. So, and I also changed the gearing in here to enduro. This is my 2005 Maico 500. The carb locked up on it, the slider. I'm not sure how or why it did, but just locked up, quit moving. So I have that Bing to put in it now, but I might try to go back and get a TM, because that was what was in it originally. This is my, this is actually a Maico 500 frame with Suzuki RM250 front end. And this was originally an ATK import. The motor is over there somewhere. But now the engine is a Maico 660. It's a sidecar engine, and I rebuilt that a couple years ago and put it in this thing. It is very few of those sidecar engines were ever made. So it has a Zabel pipe on it, custom pipe on it. Then this one here is my 1985 water cooled version. This one here, as you can see, the case is broken. Right there, it's a little bad. The case is banged up. And as well as the bearing in the water pump's bad. When you start it up, you can hear it makes a loud noise. So, I do have a brand new case right here for it. So just have it put it on. I also have other cases that are older that could be repaired. Several. I have ones that are older and they're still good though. I have an 83 that's still good from another bike. This is my 1993 Maico 500. I haven't run it yet. This one does have a new side case I put on it. And also put the 550 kicker on it. KTM 550 kicker. It's better. And yeah, I haven't really ridden this out to see if it has any issues in it yet. So that's yet to do. So over here, as you can see, is my Maico 440. I rebuilt that in 2014. I mean, I don't really take that one out that much. Is because I definitely notice the power difference. I mean, definitely a straight bike has a lot of power, compared to 300 or something, but compared to a 490, it's just not there. So I'm so used to riding at least these 500s. So yeah, it's a good bike though. But yeah, on some hill climbs, definitely you notice the lack of the power. This one here is my 1983 Maico 490. I rebuilt this in 2010 or 2011. And I also have a CR125 front forks with the disc brakes. Has a hydraulic clutch, as you can see, a cable clutch. Same with the 85. Air-cooled, has a hydraulic cable clutch. And it has a Husaberg rear caliper and a CR500 rear wheel. It also was originally a Sand Spider, or no, it was originally a Spider, had 4-speed. I switched it to an Enduro 1984 5-speed transmission, which is better since the 83 was the only year they had bushings for everything, but in this year, 84, they have needle bearings like pretty much every other year, so. The next bike to take a look at is this one here, which is, it was an ATK import. When I got it, it had like, I don't know, had goofball graphics on it, American flag everywhere.
So you grab the front tire. Yeah, no problem. So you huge hole there.
I don't know, to me that's a little goofy. So I fixed the graphics, made it look better. And also rebadged it back to what it's supposed to be. It's a Maico. It's not an ATK. There's nothing on here ATK except for the little parts they put on it, like GPR and stuff. Now I also, put a one light clutch on it because the clutch is very hard to pull in this thing. Yeah, I'll tell you, that bike has a lot of compression, so it's definitely a very powerful bike there, and it's geared very high. So as you can see, this bike is one of the bikes I put a dinner plate on the back and a 12 on the front. And even with this, it's just manageable on the trails. I mean, it's geared so high, it's ridiculous. This here is my 1997 Maico 500. When I got it, it had 1 hour on it. There's another one that's still new in the crate, but this one was just pulled out of the crate and has 1 hour on it. And so,
Dirt bikes, they don't have kickstands.
Yeah, there's stands in there.
What's that?
There's stand in the garage, please.
I got it after that. I'm fixing it up. And so yeah, it's sat for 20 years with 1 hour on it. But if someone asked me, because I had my chain pop off the other day, if I still had chain guard on it, and chain guard broke. You can see that happened. Now I have this one here. I've ordered a new chain, so I found this one laying around. It's brand new, unused. So I'll see if I can put that one on it. There's an electron carb there, but this here is my Zabel 700. It's a build. My problem is that right now is that if I put the carb in here, you pretty much are, you see that, well, there's marks right there, but you're just right here, The carb hits this and gets over more, and then you pretty much have it wedged between the shock and the frame, and there's no way you can even get an air boot over it. So that's my problem and why it stalled this build. So there is, someone had mentioned, a possible solution. I'm going to see about that, but I would need to find someone who can weld. And then my last bike, which is my 2015. I should say that, that other bike, the 83, I have an identical 83 that I had started to rebuild. The engine's pretty much rebuilt, just not put back together. And so I had a head and a piston sitting around that was all ready to go. And so recently, when I thought that top end needed a refresher, I just pulled that off and put the other one on top of that one. So now I'm probably just gonna get a new piston and get that one freshed up for whenever I need to do it again to that bike. So this one here is the Maico 500, and it also has the one light clutch. Or Maico 700, 685cc. So, yeah, this was actually the enduro gearing in it. Has fans. It's a pretty good bike. Yeah, both these bikes here are pretty powerful. We're gonna see how they compare against that Zabel 700 whenever it's done. But Zabel's a 4-speed, so see how it does when it's all built eventually, and I can figure out what to do with the carb. So that is a tour of my bikes. I mostly prefer the newer Maicos, you know, like 81 and up, pretty much. So, you know, it's harder to get the early 90s. You know, I'm able to get that one 93. And late 80s is also hard to find. I do have an 89 Maico 500 engine in there, and that's an 89 Maico 500 swing arm. That's about it. I also have a Zabel, another Zabel 700 engine around here. Oh yeah, one last thing I should mention is I actually do have this here is a 1960s Maico go-kart or mini bike engine side shaft. It's a 175cc engine, 2-stroke. Has a Mallet piston and a Mallet chrome cylinder in it. Actually got 2 heads. There's no head in there. Yeah, at some point I may see if I can get those running. I'm not really sure. You can see it says Mallet on it right there. Yeah, at some point I try to get this running. Put it in something. Yeah, once I get from all my other projects. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find some of the parts I might need in that thing, so kind of worried if the crank, you know, the connecting rod needs fixed or anything, or needs new bearing, since can't really find parts for those things.